EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martin here with your outlook for February 1st, 2019. For the first day of the new month, we are going to start off like it should be in February, which is cold, and we're going to have a very weak system moving off to our south, and this is not really that big of a deal, but for some areas, mainly in south central Pennsylvania over to portions of Delaware and southern New Jersey, it will be minor in accumulations. I don't think it's going to be too much elsewhere besides those areas as far as getting to like maybe an inch or inch and a half, something like that. But elsewhere, we're looking at maybe just some coatings. But this is not going to go that far north. It's going to be a south of I-78 deal today, we think, for the most part. And it's a very quick mover, little weak system moving through, and that's going to be in and out of here fairly quickly by this evening. We go over to the NAM high-res future simulated radar, and we'll start this off at 6 a.m. And you can see our far southwestern areas, which for our area starts right here with Franklin County. We don't do anything west of here. So Franklin County is where we start, which is this county right here. And then we have Adams, we have York, and Cumberland, Perry. These are all in those areas too. So we're going to get that snow moving in during the course of the morning, and this is 6 a.m. Moving forward from this point, here is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. Now I want to stop it here at 1 o'clock because it looks like there's a lot going on here. Like, whoa, what happened here? Well, there's some dry air it's fighting here. So for starters, the dry air is coming in from this direction, working against this. So these areas on the northern fringe here probably don't see much of anything at all above that line. So even though it's showing that it's snowing on radar, it's one of those Virga deals. So it's eating it up. And I can't rule out a stray flurry up here, but it's not a big deal. Nothing that's really accumulating. Once you get to this next tier right in here, you're probably seeing coatings. Okay, the areas where we can see some accumulations that are in our area anyway are going to be again these Cumberland or Franklin, Cumberland, Adams, York, maybe southern Lancaster, southern Chester might get into a little bit of it, but especially across Delaware, the northern half of Delaware, and these areas right here in South Jersey, and of course our northern Maryland counties that are here as well that we cover, which are Carroll, Baltimore, Hartford, and Cecil. So those are the areas we're looking at right in here that you could get a coating to an inch. Not a real big deal. Maybe somebody gets an inch and a half out of that, or 2 if you're lucky. Especially down here, the name this tonight was suggesting that as this moves out, the areas right here in South Jersey and Central Delaware would get a little bit of enhancement on the way out. Might get you to 2, but either way. As we move this forward here, you can see that here. See that enhancement right there? It does right at the end. It kind of gets darker in the blues. And that's right around 3 o'clock. So there's a possibility across Delaware you could see that. And the southernmost counties of New Jersey, and we're talking about Atlantic, Cape May, and Cumberland, Salem, places like that. So we'll keep a close eye on that today, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal. We did not issue a map for this system. We just sent the alerts to the affected areas for that snowfall to occur today. Then after that, we're going to get progressively warmer. Today's cold, a very cold day today. Starting off very cold again this morning, and for the second straight night I'm recording this video, it is below 0 at my house here, about 5-6 miles north of the Allentown airport. So very cold night again, very similar to last night, but maybe not quite as cold. It's going to be close, but not quite as cold. But still, what's a few degrees among friends when you're talking about below 0 temperatures, right? So once we go forward from this point again, Saturday, progressively warmer. We are looking at generally partly to mostly cloudy. We'll call it over the weekend. It doesn't really look like it's going to be a full sun weekend, but I don't think it's going to be full clouds either, kind of halfway in between. And that's both for Saturday. It's actually Saturday's a partly to mostly Sunday day. I'm sorry. Sunday is the partly to mostly cloudy day. We have a warm front in the vicinity that's going to try to move through generally in the morning, kind of like a morning clouds giving way to sun deal on Sunday. And then once that warm front moves through, we start getting temperatures up because we have wind starting to come in from the southwest, and it will remain that way. Now, a little thing about this this blowtorch everybody's talking about, like, oh no, it's the beginning of February and we're torching. Well, yeah, we will, but there's a time limit to this. This is not a real big deal. Think of it as kind of like a January thaw, and this happens a lot when you have some I know it's not January, it's February now, I get it, but it seems our seasons are backing up here lately. But regardless, usually every time most times when you have a big hard freeze like this, you usually have a warm-up that follows that. in most cases, and this is not unusual to see this, but we're going to see that warm up this week. It's going to last 5 days, 5 days, straight through Thursday, and that's it. Then we go back down to near to slightly below average temperatures after that point. And if your weeklies that we saw tonight are correct, it's going to go for a very long time, right through at least the end of the month, maybe into March. So just get used to it after that. It does look like we have this 5-day period in here. We're going to get very, very mild. I mean, Sunday's going to get it well into the 40s, and still dry Monday here as well. We're going to get into the 50s on Monday for highs, and that 50 or better is probably going to be the case going straight through Wednesday and possibly even Thursday. All right, so it's going to be a nice break. You get a little bit milder temperatures, and you get a break of all this extreme cold that we've had. I know the snow lovers don't like this, but this whole week, this first week is shot. I think your chances for snow are going to come out after the 10th is what we're looking at. You might have something thread the needle right around the 7th, but I wouldn't hang my hats on that. I'm going to do the long range this morning, and I'll have that all updated. But I'm looking at after the 10th period. Actually, well, maybe like the 11th, 13th, or 10th to 12th, something like that. There could be something coming up in that time frame that would be wintry. I think that's your next shot at snow. Before then, not a chance, unless you get something very thread the needle on around the 7th, but that's probably not happening. Here is a look at Tuesday. Tuesday we're still dry, partly mostly cloudy though, and then Wednesday we have mostly cloudy skies that are going to have rain move in later in the day. That's going to continue during the night and go right into Thursday. Once this system passes, and here's that system on the 7th. That's cutting it close here. 32-degree line is right along the front here. So it's going to depend what the temperatures are here at this point. This is one of those marginal systems. But I think this one's going to remain mostly warm. And then the cold air is going to come in behind this one, and it's going to lock in for a little while. Not going to be brutal, though, this time. I just think it's going to be seasonably cold, if not a little bit slightly below average, at least going into the middle of the month after this point. But at least we're getting into a favorable pattern for, or at least temperature-wise, that we could support some snow if that's what you're looking for, longer range. But that comes after the 10th of February, we think. Once this system gets out of here, temperatures drop, and we'll be back below average once we get to February 8th and beyond. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marters. That is your outlook for February 1st, 2019.